Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your June 2023 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me get seen by the YouTube algorithm and is so wonderful of you guys for doing so. So, thank you so very much. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, we have two. Okay. So what's interesting is that we need to be mindful here, Cancer, that we're falling out of, I want to say, like this prison that we've been in, this way of thinking, this way of seeing things. And it can be very overwhelming because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm stepping into this new place, like this new energy, this new field, this new way of being. It can be very overwhelming for us. So that's what I see with the Eight of Swords and with the Nine of Pentacles. We need to be mindful of being present and being in the moment. We're going to be very into the future, very into the past, but being right here, right now can be a bit difficult for us. So being aware of that is important too. Excuse me. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have energy. There's a lot of energy coming off of this moon. This is the full moon in Sagittarius. It's 18 degrees. No, it's 13 degrees, 18 minutes of Sagittarius. And we have a whole bunch of energy coming in because we have Mercury also moving very, very quickly through June. So that will be something that we feel powerfully. Gemini has a lot of energy to it. Mercury has a lot of energy to it. And we're going to be feeling that during this time quite intensely. So being aware of that, the energy of the full moon, which is going to shine a light on a lot of things, make a lot clear. This full moon is also letting us see, capital SEE. We are seeing so much more clearly. We are seeing like behind, around corners, behind the curtains type of deal. This moon, because Sagittarius is, all about independence and freedom and enthusiasm and idealism. And it wants us to go beyond what is to what can be. And for us, that can be like for all human beings, not just for us, Cancer, but for all human beings, that can be very overwhelming. We're stepping into what can be. And it's actually making me a bit choked up here because it's like, well, what can be? What can happen? How can things move forward? And there's a bit of an unknown to that too, which can be brilliantly happy and brilliantly sad and brilliantly everything in between. So being aware of that is going to be really intense for us. I don't know why it's coming through so strongly. So just know you might find yourself being a little bit weepy or more, emotional during this time because you're so connected, Cancer, and you're already very connected to begin with. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. So it's interesting here is that we have temperance reversed. And temperance is Sagittarius energy. So during this time, it's going to be intense. It's just going to be intense. That's the best way and the clearest way to put it. So we're starting with the Knight of Cups. We're going to see ourselves moving forward slowly, steadily, succinctly, powerfully towards healing, rising above a lot of the chaos of the world, which, Sagittarius is about truth. It's about honor. It's about integrity. It's very linked to law, not in the sense of Libra being linked to law and justice. Things have to be just, things have to be fair. Here, it's like things have to be truthful. There has to be the truth. And if there's not the truth, then what the heck's the point? It's going to be a very powerful energy that comes forward during this time. Now, what's also interesting here is that the South Node is in Scorpio, and that's the collective past, okay? That's big secrets, toxic energy. It's all coming to the surface. We're rising above it, but we're going to see ourselves really defending what we love, what we want, what's important to us. Leading with our emotions is going to be huge during this time because, again, this moon has us seeing. It illuminates, and we see things, and we're like, huh. Now, this is also because Neptune, which is unconditional love, the planet of unconditional love and oneness, is squared the galactic center, the center of our galaxy. And this increases our psychic development and insightful dreams. So being aware of that here also as we're moving forward, the water represents, the emotional self, the psychic self, the intuitive, energy that moves us. We're going to see ourselves rising above it, but to be able to look into it. So we can see everybody else caught in it, but we'll be able to rise above a bit more. So just being aware of that, I see it more as, I know the direction that I'm heading in type of deal. And Spirit's going to be guiding you, leading you, working with you during this time. There's something that we're fighting. And it can be an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius. But there's some sort of knowledge. And this can also be actually Uranus, which is also known as the piercing sword of truth. So Uranus is conjunct Mercury. And this brings sudden, surprising news and brilliant ideas. We can want to move really, really quickly. Or there's an energy here that's like, okay, move quickly. And I see this as that Uranus energy coming forward. Uranus is also the higher mind. So the higher aspect of Mercury. So Uranus conjunct Mercury. Uranus, I almost think of like philosophy, right? Studying philosophy, studying how to think. And Mercury is how we think day to day. So here, that's going to be important because Uranus is moving new degrees. Yeah, the planet is moving into an awakening for many, many people. All right. And it's moving into new degrees, which we haven't seen it move into for 84 years. So that's going to be a huge, huge thing. Jupiter is also conjunct the North Node. This is in 3 degrees of Taurus, which is very positive, energy connecting us with higher dreams, connections, the natural world. And we're going to see us moving towards more of what we want, more of what we need. We need to state things more clearly here, Cancer, because we are so intuitive and we can be like, okay, well, what did you mean by this? And go deeper into that. What is how does this work for you? Like, what are you feeling? What are you discovering? We're going to see us cutting through doubts, fears, and negativities in very powerful ways and very insightful ways. And we can get kind of caught up with people who can't, people who can't speak or understand or listen the way that we need them to, the way that we want them to. So this is going to be a time where we can find ourselves kind of picking fights with those people, with that energy. So being aware of that is going to be very important. Or feeling like I have to fight a tide of people who just don't understand. Why don't they understand? Because we're going off of feeling, intuitive feeling, a sense of taking in the room, not by looking at everything, but we'll actually take in the room through our hearts, through our emotions. Like, how does this make me feel? What am I discovering here? What's important here for me to know, understand, and move forward in? So embracing that energy is going to be just so important for us and so powerful for us. The Seven of Wands is also saying, pick your battles wisely. During this time, we can feel like we have one battle after another, after another, after another, because not many people are on the same wavelength as us. That's going to be exhausting. Don't get into that. It will be very easy to get lost in other people's chaos. We're also going to see ourselves really embracing being the hero of our story, taking the reins more, cutting through doubts and fears and negativity, and really seeing what we desire, what we want. This is going to be for, all of June, at least all of Gemini time period, which is May 21st to June 20th, you might find yourself really being much more kind of proactive to what you want, to what you're discovering, to what you need, to what's important to you. It's like it's a really take the bull by the horns type of time. And that's going to be really good. I also see you're filling up your lungs a lot. And I know that sounds like a funny thing to say because we're always filling up our lungs. But it's like focusing on your breathing, meditation through breath can be very important, but also focusing on your throat chakra, healing energy around your lungs, that's going to be something very powerful for you to keep your voice and move your voice forward. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles reverse, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you a gift, prosperity, success, and bounty. We're not ready to take it yet, and we're not ready to move into the next stage, though we might think we are. So this can be a time where it's rather overwhelming because it's like, well, I know things are supposed to be changing financially, or I know things are supposed to be moving forward. Why aren't they moving forward the way I want them to or the way I need them to? And that's because Spirit is like, okay, I'm holding back this gift for a minute because I need you to, it's kind of like you need to settle something first. I don't know exactly what that something is. I do know you're coming through as a knight. So, as a person of action, determination, focus, insight, a knight also needs a liege, right? So, there's something that you're fighting for, working towards, connected with. That's going to be very important. Once you also start to see the seeds you want to plant in your life, like what you are developing now, what you desire, what spirit is calling you towards, and let yourself calm into that energy, you're going to see that prosperity starts to come in. It's like, okay, now that I start to see what I'm drawn to this because, and there's going to be certain things that you're just like, absolutely, it's like pulling at your heartstrings. It's like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's like, why? Why am I so called to this? And Spirit's going to be showing you. So I would definitely take note of your interests, of what you're really kind of captivated by and why you're captivated by it, because it might not be what you initially think. So just be aware of that. With Temperance reversed, you might not be seeing a lot of people speaking the truth. Okay. And that can be something that's very annoying to you. It's something where you feel like, what the heck is going on here? Sagittarius energy coming in. And this full moon in Sagittarius brings forward an independence, an insight, a desire. I'm seeing Nancy Drew books, which is really funny. I used to read those when I was little. Gosh, I think my mom used to read those when she was little. Probably my grandma too. But there's something here where it's like either this is a time where you really like a good whodunit, type of, I love cozy mystery. So it could be a cozy mystery type of thing, or you're looking at things and you're trying to figure out, how does the truth come forward? Like, how does the truth get revealed? You might get really caught up in that. Like, this has to be seen. It has to be seen. Some people are never going to understand the truth. Some people are never going to see the truth in their own lives. And there needs to be an acceptance of that. It's kind of like, oh, okay, I see this. Okay, I accept this. So just know that. But also know that this full moon in Sagittarius, it can be intense for you. It can be a little bit overwhelming. It could be more than you had anticipated it being. Okay, but it can also turn a lot of things on their heads. Like, oh, I thought I was heading in this direction. And now I'm looking at things so differently. I'm energized, or, seeing, like, it's like I'm energized and excited in a way that I didn't think I was going to be. It's kind of like something new has sparked my interest and I want to discover it, dive deeper. Yeah, kind of like be like Nancy Drew, right? Dive deeper into it. With the 10 of Wands, you carry a lot. And this is going to be a time where you see, you notice, and you understand that you put a lot on your shoulders. You could be looking at how to release that energy around you, but you can also be looking at, what am I carrying? Like, what is so important? And is this helping me or is this hindering me? Spirit always says, release and build a bonfire. Release and alight and see what happens. This is going to be a time where you're coming to the conclusion within, fire energy. This could be, you can come to the conclusion of things during a fire sign time, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But this is also very much here, Cancer. You're coming to the conclusion of something within your work, what you're passionate about, what you have been carrying on your shoulders, the work that you've been putting on you. And now is a time where you're going to start to release and say, what do I want? What do I need? What's important here? You know, and you can even be looking at the quality of what you're carrying. You know, when you're making a fire to keep away the bugs, you know, at night. I love that, especially, you know, in the summertime. And different wood burns differently, which I never paid attention to before in my whole entire life. And now it's like, oh, well, that wood smells different, and that's this, and that's that. You're going to start to see that you're paying attention to things, and it's going to be what you've been carrying. But things that you thought would just throw away, like no big deal, now you're starting to see the big deal in it. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. Oh, goodness. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. So it's so interesting here is I was just seeing, like, you know, the new moon is reversed. And so there's a sense of like, okay, the new moon is going to come in to play when we have the new moon in June. And there's going to be something where it's like, you're not yet ready to start. But also with this full moon, it's like, I'm not yet ready to surrender fully to the divine. So there's something interesting here where as we're moving forward, gratitude is going to be so important. And it's time to give rather than take. It's time to give of gratitude rather than taking others' gratitude or taking, you know, from the world. It's time to give. It's time to plant the seeds. Okay. Rather than pulling up the harvest is what I see. Gratitude is going to be so important. And you might actually find that when you say thank you, thank you, thank you, and you're just thanking the world and thanking everything, that it can actually become rather overwhelming. And you might find yourself moving more towards anger and frustration and just absolutely having a visceral response to your gratitude. So be aware of that. If you feel like your emotions are all over the place and you don't know why, it's kind of written in your stars right now. It's definitely written in your cards. So here, with luck is on your side and acceptance, we don't feel like luck is on our side. We have accepted a lot, okay? We fight for, we are determined, we are focused, but we don't feel necessarily lucky. So be aware of that. A new start is coming. We don't feel that way. We feel like we can create, we can cultivate, we can go after. But is it like on the wind? Can we taste it on the wind? No. We know we need to be moving that way though. We need to create. Whatever is our creative outlet, we need to let ourselves have that. We need to let ourselves be guided by that. It moves us to the energy is gaining momentum for balance. And as we move towards balance, we're going to be stepping through into, you know, what we deeply desire and want and need and looking for in our lives and for ourselves. You know, we're going to be stepping into that blessing from divinity of abundance. Sheer pleasure will come from surrendering to the divine. And it doesn't sound like it will. It sounds like I'm relinquishing control. But here, we're resisting our own pleasure. We're resisting a surrender. And Spirit is saying to find our balance, surrender fully to the divine in the ways that that knowledge and that energy feels right for you, you know, is powered by you. Embracing our pleasure, embracing what gives us joy, what brings us bliss, but also just like the pleasure of being in this world, you know, existing with all its heartbreaks and pains and disappointments and chaos, and surrendering, knowing I'm not in control. There's going to be a freeing element to that. But there's also going to be a scary element to it that we have to acknowledge and accept. It moves us to being very close to achieving our goals. Do we feel that way? No. But we do have faith that the seeds that we have planted will bear harvest. We're carrying a lot. We can be overwhelmed. Here, having that faith in what we are cultivating and creating on this earth, we need to not be so harsh on ourselves. That's why we're always looking to the future. We're always looking at the past. Stand right here, right now. You'll be surprised what you have achieved. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. This is the Princess of Pentacles. Be mindful of manipulations around money, especially for young people. Okay? And I don't mean young people necessarily as young of age, but immature spiritually. You'll look at them and be like, well, that seems rather like you're stunted, type of thing when you're talking to them. So be aware with the Princess of Pentacles. There's just immaturity around money here. Be mindful of this. Be mindful that we can get frustrated and then be like, you know what, that's it. I'm just going to do what I want to do, go where I want to go, live the way I want to live type of deal. So be aware of that. We can have that energy be on us too. Our subconscious spirit energy is imagine. We're not letting ourselves imagine. And spirit's like, you need to create, you need to imagine, you need to step into your creative aspect. Whether it's painting, I see paint a lot, like running down a canvas, whether it's painting, whether it's, even building those rock towers, those when you have the rocks and you try to build them up until they fall down, just something that is mindless, meditative. What did I hear once? Somebody made a sand painting, right? And it blew away in the wind. And they were all upset. And the wise man came and said, some sand paintings are medicine, and some sand paintings are art. And here it's like some things that we create or are creating in our lives, they're medicine for us. And some are art. Our subconscious tarot message is the Four of Pentacles reverse. We're releasing a lot of vampiric energy that has been holding us back, that has been keeping us from where we need to be, where we want to be, from what we are discovering for ourselves. We're going to be seeing a lot of blockages, especially around the crown chakra, but also the soul star chakra, the earth star chakra that tethers us to the universe and to the earth is being released. We're also going to see a release of energy around the solar plexus chakra. So listen to your gut, but you might find that your tummy's a bit upset during this time. You can also have a bit of like heartburn or acid reflux. Be aware of that. Our subconscious Luna message is surrender, reversed. We're having a bit of difficulty surrendering to this moon because we have the void of course. It says nothing will come of the situation. The void of course, it happens during every lunar cycle. I have friends who, block this off in their calendar. They won't do anything during a void of course. You don't have to take it that seriously. It just means what you're going to do, and it lasts a short period of time, but what you are going to do is going to kind of go topsy-turvy. What you expect to happen will not happen. That's why we're finding it hard to surrender, because what we expect will happen isn't happening. And that's because the moon is taking over. The moon is taking control. And as soon as we surrender to it, the easier it will be. It's kind of like fighting the current instead of riding the current, type of thing. Okay. All right. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Have a blessed moon. Bye.